This program is brought to you by Tasty Boys Corn on the Cob. Corn on the cob. If it's not on the cob, it's not corn on the cob.
Let's get started.
G'day and welcome to the RetroTinker. Today we're going to be taking a look at this 90s Star Wars Power of the Force Bossk figure in need of a little digital enhancement. First appearing in The Empire Strikes Back, Bossk is one of the several bounty hunters that Darth Vader employs to track down the Millennium Falcon. And while he doesn't get a whole lot of screen time, this Trandoshan is one cool looking alien. And he's an even cooler toy.
This guy was kindly given to me by my mate Wayne, aka Teriyaki Emu. Thanks, mate.
So as you can see, he's missing the middle digit in each hand. It looks like they were cut intentionally, although I have no idea why. My best theory so far is maybe he made the mistake of giving Darth Vader the finger in traffic or something. I don't know, it's just a theory. At any rate, it needs fixing, so let's get on with it. Now his left hand is fairly straightforward, there's been a fairly clean cut there. The right, however, is a little more complicated. It looks like someone slipped with a saw or something, plus his finger needs to be bent so that it can hold a gun. I'm not too worried about that though, I don't even have his weapons anyway, but I'll see what I can do. So to fix it, I'll drill a hole into each hand, I'll put a bit of paperclip in there, and then I'll just rebuild it all with Milliput. But before I do that, I want to try something. Rather than trying to painstakingly re-sculpt the scales on his arm here, I'm first going to mix up a bit of Milliput and I'm going to try and make a texture roller. This will hopefully help the repair blend into the original parts, at least at a glance. Milliput is essentially just a two-part epoxy putty. You just mix equal parts A and B and you knead them together till they're combined, and then let it sit for about 10 minutes while it firms up a little bit, and then yeah, you sculpt whatever you want to sculpt and it'll set in something like 8 hours. It's really handy stuff. It's been about 10 minutes. I probably mixed up a bit much there, but it doesn't matter. So I'll just put the Milliput on the end of the cake pop stick. Alright, I've tapered it a bit so that I can hopefully get the detail into the finer areas if I need to. I'm just going to roll it across the surface of his good arm and then hopefully pick up that scaly texture, and then later on I'll be able to transfer it onto the repairs. It's a little rough and ready, but it should be alright. Alright, so I'll leave that set overnight and I'll come back tomorrow. But first, you know the rule, when you've got leftover Milliput, you've got to make yourself a little robot head. It's the law. Alrighty, it's the next day. I did a little extra work off camera, but the Milliput is set nice and hard now. Hopefully this will do the trick. Next thing I need to do is drill a hole in each hand and then glue a piece of paper clip in. That should reinforce the join. Also, it looks like I might need to rebuild this little bit of a claw here. I think I might do that with some super glue and baking soda. That's perfect. No, just kidding. I'll just have to trim these up and then I'll have to bend these around a bit. This one here doesn't have much of a curve in it from the pictures I've seen online. This one here obviously has to come around almost to a right angle so it can hold a weapon. That looks like it should be somewhat close to the original shape. Let's mix up some Milliput. So like before, I let this set for 10 minutes. Got a little bit of water here to help later on with smoothing things out. But yeah, let's get to work. Looking fairly close, I think. I'm just going off a picture I got off the internet. So when I get it to this point, this is where the texture roller comes into it. I can't press too hard or else I'll just move everything around. But I'm just going to try and roll a little bit of texture onto there. That should help it blend in later. This will of course get a bit of a sand later on. Yeah, and it's not going to be perfect. It was never going to be perfect, but it should look okay. The texture doesn't really look much like the original one, but by the time I paint it, it should blend in a little bit. I think I'll quit while I'm ahead here. Alright, that looks like I'm getting at least somewhat close now. So yeah, I'll hit it with the texture roller and then we'll let this set. From there I'll do a little bit of sanding and some fine detail. I'll fix that, that claw of his there with some super glue. Then it should be ready for paint. He's looking a little rough and ready, but overall not too bad. Damn sight better than he was before anyway. So yeah, I guess I'll let it set. It's the law.
Run out of steam? You need to help yourself to an energizing bowl of corn on the cob. Corn on the cob is an anytime cereal packed with cob-tastic nutrients guaranteed to keep you on your toes. And remember, if it's not on the cob, it's not corn on the cob. Corn, corn, corn on the cob. Whether you're home or on the job, with the goodness of corn and the flavor of cob, you can't get enough of that corn on the cob.
From Tasty Boy. Alright, that's set nicely. It's not looking too bad. I guess it's time to give it a bit of a sand up and then, yeah, on to paint. That's looking pretty good. Let's just fix this claw here and then yeah, we'll get painting. So to rebuild the claw, I'm just going to drop a little bit of super glue on, then sprinkle a bit of this baking soda on, and just repeat until it builds up enough that I can then sand it back into a claw shape, I guess. That looks like it's built up enough. Now I'll give it a quick sand. Alright, I think that looks good enough for me. Alright, we'll clean them off and then it's time for paint. I've mixed up a bit of paint. It should be a fairly close match. We'll see how we go. So I'm pretty happy with how the paint's looking on his hands. I've just noticed that he's missing a piece of his foot. That's just rude. Yeah, that's got that patched up. Yeah, I'm glad I noticed it now rather than right at the end. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I'm actually quite happy with that. Just give them a quick clear coat of varnish to protect them. And I guess he's done. And there we have it. I've got to say, I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out. The paint that I mixed up isn't a 100% match, but it's pretty close. I am curious to see whether he'll hold a weapon. Like I said, I don't have his weapon, but this is Han Solo's pistol, and yeah, it's probably not gonna... Yeah, it's not gonna stay in his grip. He can hold a lightsaber though. Yeah, I'm not too worried. I don't really mind whether he can hold weapons or not. As I said, I don't even have them, so... yeah, I'm happy with this. I really don't think it's going to look out of place on the shelf, so... yeah, happy days. I guess now all we need to do is take some glamour shots and job's done. And there we have it. I'm actually really happy with how this all came together. I think he looks a lot better than what he did at the start for sure. And I think he's going to look great on the shelf. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Give the old algorithm a tickle. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I hope I see you in the next one.